Yo, let's head bash. So I've been playing on the server cluster for about 1,200 hours since November or September or October. I don't even remember when I started playing here. Uh, we did all the content, every uh, boss, gamma, beta, alpha, and we were just breeding like crazy to get ready for Genesis. Genesis dropped, and all we could bring over was just our character. No items, no tames, nothing. So we built up on Genesis, and just a Rex line. Like we had a Rex max tame the first like 12 hours of playing and breeding them, and we smashed through the content. Got all the way up to Alpha Genesis missions, and they were just too hard for what you could get on Genesis. The saddles were not good enough, and we lost hundreds of Rexes with 60 to 70 armor saddles, just throwing them at Alpha Starco, Alpha Spino, Alpha UD, Alpha Mammoth, and didn't get any of them dead. So we waited to a month. That's when our server transfer opened up, and we could bring everything off of the other maps, Aberration and stuff, over to Genesis. And then we had all the missions ready for beta, so we did beta with the Rexes that we bred on Genesis. We got them up to 77 health, 79 damage, but all we did was just bring over 100 armor saddles. That was it, and we did it easily. And then we brought over our big boy Rexes to finish out the alpha missions. We bred these for months, 3-4 months, round the clock, every 9 hours. We was breeding them to get mutations. We got them to max. I mean, you can't breed them any higher. 254 health, 254 melee damage. If it goes any higher, it loops back around and resets. So those easily smashed all the alpha missions, and then we were locked behind getting the missions done. I've got 162 or 163 out of 168 that are needed to do the final test alpha, but those missions are damn near impossible to finish. It don't matter what you throw at them. For instance, one of them is the alpha blood stalker swinging through the air, and you gotta do it perfect. And like even then, like I could never get past it. I was always 1 or 2 seconds short of doing that mission. And then the other ones that are the gauntlet missions on beta and alpha, where you can't even, the weapons they give you, you can't even kill the things fast enough to be able to finish them. So you know they're missions already. But anyways, they're wiping the server. So 1,200 hours are gone, in 15 minutes. They just sprung it on us. I thought I'd do a base show off just to let you what's going on. This is one of our breeding pens on Aberration, and these are our Rexes, the male and female. This one's got the health, and then this one's got the melee. And as you can see, these are when we were combining. They were all bred with perfect stats, no mutations, just over and over and over. And you can see we got up to 20, 20, and 10. So that's 50 mutations. And you can see here, it only goes back 15, so I can't show you how far back it goes, but essentially every time we'd get a mutation, it would be 0, 1 HP, 0, 2 HP, and so on. And then, you know, it all goes all the way up to 50 mutations. These are our full Rexes. I guess I'm gonna take them and put them in a box, let people go crazy on the server. These are just throwaway stuff. We were starting to breed weight in. Like we got up to 88 or 90 weight. These are all of our, these are what they started out with. These are our perfect, all stats combined, no mutations. And the way you breed correctly is you get a bunch of females with no mutations and all of the stats that you want off of all of the Rexes that you tamed. And then once you finally get a breeding pair, a male and female, you just have them breed over and over and over until you get the females that you want. And we were using 60 to 70 females. And then once you get the, so you have 60 females, one male, or two males. One male is HP, the other male is damage. And you just keep breeding them over and over until you get the mutation. Once you get like one mutation in health, you raise that T-Rex up and it replaces the male. And you just keep doing that over and over. So we started out with the male with no mutations, and then we went to the male with one mutation in damage. So it went from 50 to 54, and then you can see up here parental 1 out of 20. That means it just has one mutation. And then you would breed this male with all of the females, all of the clean females with 0 mutations. And then once that finally produces an offspring with 2 mutations, both of those mutations being in damage, so it went up to 58 damage, then you raise that Rex up, and then you know, hopefully it's a male. If not, we have a mutator so we can gender swap, but you just start mating that male with all of the females. And then once that makes a mutation, it's 3 mutations and it goes up to 62 damage. So you do that 50 times and you are basically, you know, maxed out at 254. And then, you know, if you want HP and damage, you gotta do it to every stat. You just keep doing it over and over. And we did that with Rexes, we did that with Manas, we did that with Stegos. Our Stegos are 200 HP. Our Ravagers here are 219 damage. And we got up to how much health? I can't see the health on this one. 212 health. Okay, so these were 41 mutations in Ravagers. And they take forever too, because there's not that many of them. You can only stack them up so high. But we never even used these. It was just a side piece gimmick thing that we did. So you can see these are some of our top ones. 212 HP, 215 damage. And it's the same thing too. You just get a bunch of, you just put all your stats together, make a bunch of clean females with no mutations with all the stats, and then start breeding them. As you can see here, we started with 48 health and 41 melee. So they had decent base stats too. And then once you get the HP and damage that you want, just start breeding them and putting them out, putting them together. Interesting. Okay, so that's them. We were starting to do it on Reapers as well because we have mutators. So on Reapers, they come with no gender, so you can gender assign pulse, if and then ball them up. If it's not the gender that you want, just throw them back out. Gender swap pulse, and then you have to allow breeding pulse, and then make babies, and then you have to do that every time. But here's our stego. He's got 200 health, so that's right at 32,000 base health. Our cluster was talking about one time going to a PvP opt-in, and there you can see I put 4 points in. It went up to 48,000 health, so I think it was gonna be strong if we were gonna do PvP. Here's just more of our clean females. I think there's 35 here, and you just throw the male in the middle, and right here he is, 88 weight, because this is when we was adding weight, and we would create mutation pulse. Boom, 1 out of 2, 2 out of 2. That guarantees 2 mutations. It kind of guarantees it. I mean, you got a high chance of getting a mutation, but whether or not that mutation lands on the stat that you're wanting, that's all numbers game. So that's why we add so many. And we've got soul terminals right here, so we just go options, newborn auto trap, enable mating pulse, and then they would start mating. And then over here, this is where we started our Reapers. You can see they're all level 238. They all have full stats, and you can see they're all the same color. It means they have no mutations. They all came out of the same parents. We actually cloned. Once we got all the stats on one of them, we cloned it and then started breeding them. So that's them. I'll transfer over to one of our other servers. Let me shoot this guy up. Boom. And we kept all these separate, so they had their own terminal. As you can see, these are just all the mutations down the line, going all the way up to what we got. And then these are their stegos over here. You can see we started out base at 52, so we went from 52 and what is that, 36, 37 mutations later, it went up to 200. So lots of time put into it, that's for sure. Because these guys like to eat. I mean, you have to constantly. My breeding rounds every morning doing all this is like 3 to 4 hours, and then you got to repeat that every 9 to 10 hours if you want to stay on top of it. Let me go to one of our other maps and show you. Go to Volcano. That's just a transmitter, and we go up there, tribal server, and we can travel to a different map in the cluster. For anybody that was wondering, this is Prodigy Gaming unofficial cluster. Right there, Prodigy Evolved cluster. This is my Volcano map. This is where I did most of my breeding. The aberration was done by TribeMate, but they had dipped out about 2 or 3 weeks ago when all this COVID stuff started hitting off. They've been working real hard on keeping people safe. So I brought blood stalkers over here, and I've been doing. Let me see. One thing I hate about Volcano is the weather. Man, the lighting is so bad. I guess I could have enclosed everything, but these are my blood stalkers. I had them going and was putting colors together, and as you can see, I kind of got a Spider-Man theme going here. It's got I think 5 color regions, So it was a bit tricky. 4. Okay. That's what you need. I wish that 3 was a 01, so it would be a bright red instead of it's like kind of a darker red. But that's alright. You can't really tell when it's all out. But I had all these guys breeding up. As you can see, this is one of my main ones right here. This 68. Or 69, 69, 62, 68. What that means is he's got 69 health. Yeah. 68 health, 68 stamina, 62 weight, and 69 damage. So I was just getting them all in the 60s, which is about 9 to 10 mutations per. And then I had them all up on these right here. I could stack all the females right here and then a male into them. Females here, male into them. So I used to have, I did a bunch of breeding here. I did Bigfoots, Gigantopithecus, I did dire wolves, Ankies, Doeds, Trikes, Tech Trikes, and the Bloodstalkers, and I did Enforcers as well, and Quetzals too. Here's all my my Bigfoots. I'm gonna hide that. These are all the same stats. They've got 100 health and 112 damage, and I stopped all my lines at 100 so I could actually use them and enjoy them and do stuff with them and kill bosses. Same thing with dire wolves. Once I got all the stats, and you get so many mutations, you just start picking out colors and putting them together, and then you know you got, because every mutation comes with a stat gain and a color change. So I would get them all and put them together, but those are all 100 damage, 100 health as well. I thought these were like really cool. Our mod lets us put, there's a Kraken Better Dino mod for these, and it lets you put a headpiece, armor, and hands. You can wear weapons and stuff. And we got some good weapons. Pull all these guys up actually. I'm not gonna sit here and ball all these up. Get the idea. But I would keep them all separated in their own terminal when I was breeding them as well. These are our Ankies. These are all the clean females, and then these are the male mutations on down the line. I did weight and damage, and I got up to 98 damage on them and 69 weight. These are our Tech Trikes. They were the same thing. I had 100 melee damage and 100 weight. The Doeds, got them up to 100 melee damage as well, 102 melee damage. Dire Wolves, same thing, all the clean females, and here's the mutation males down the road. And the Gigantopithecus, they had all the clean females, and these are all the mutated males. 92 damage, 100 HP, etc., etc. And I started combining them and putting them right here. And then these started doing color breeding as well. So I got one black and yellow, and then I got all blue. And these are 6 color regions. It took a long time to get them. Took a long time to get all the color regions blue and or black and yellow how I wanted them. It's a lot of time breeding. Let me see if I can't find a blue in here. Yeah. Those are all blue. I did a lot of blue ones. So that's my Valguero breeding. It's tech platforms, and this is a tech platform because it's on that right there. And then these ones above it are just connected by, there's a metal, there's a wall. Yeah, here's the wall. It's a glass wall. And then those above it are just wedges. 12 wedges. 12, what are they exactly called? Large tech platform wedge. 12 of them makes the whole circle. And I just got half walls or rails, tech walls. And these are the same things. You can see the wall right there, the glass wall. Here's all my enforcer patterns, because once you make the enforcer, you can kill it. And then these are the tech quetzals that I was doing. They didn't get very high. I didn't have a need for quetzals, so I kind of stopped. It takes a lot to feed all of these babies and stuff, or raising them, and then the females, when you're actually breeding them, they eat a lot more, so I was having to constantly fill up tech troughs and stuff with food. We'll go over to Genesis. And then Extinction. We had bases in every biome. Our bog, we started out in bog, but we made our main base there. That's where we did our breeding. Well, some of the breeding. We bred the Rexes and stuff here while we were trying to do all the bosses. But we did all the motors, Gamma, Beta, and then Alpha. And then Master Controller we've done on Gamma and Beta. But I'm 5 missions short on the Alpha. If you go into your missions list, like it's so impossible to get it done. Like, this is the only mission that I'm lacking. And when you do all the repair glitches, it does give you 1 mission credit. And the ocean biome, this Echo, man, it's hard, real hard to do on Alpha. You gotta escort the dolphin, and I never found all the glitches yet. And then Volcano biome, this magma melee, where you have to just fight off all these predators and stuff with the weapons that they give you, like a pistol and a sword. I mean, the only way I can see people getting that done is in super high tier armor, and a lot of them, like 5 to 6 people, because with 3 people we couldn't even finish 1 phase. We just couldn't get we couldn't get everything dead. And I've got all the repair glitches in that one. And then the lunar biome, I just got a couple more repair glitches, but man, it's so big. It's hard. It takes hours just roaming around back and forth, making, lines like you're cutting grass trying to find them. This is technological terrors, are the same thing as the gauntlet missions where they give you the weapon and you have to fight stuff. It was just, we couldn't do it. And this Tokyo Drift's gift thing, they don't give you enough time to complete the mission. King of the Moon is the tech T-Rexes. I could have easily done that and got that finished. I just didn't. The Moonlight one is the Giga. It killed my level 400 Rex and level 770, Rexes at the time, or Giga, whatever. It's that bleed damage just does so much. I'm sure I could get it done, but it's harder to do those type of missions on the moon because you don't have control of characters that are not, and dinos that are not being passive, you know, like ridden. So when they get like knocked back, they just keep going forever. And they don't course correct. So you know, there goes your Rex just drifting off in the nether. Ice fishing. I mean, I couldn't finish that. As you can see, nobody's finished it. It's just, it was too hard. I was gonna look into getting like a third-party thing that looked at overlays, but those are the missions I couldn't get done. These were our 77, 79 boss for the final test that we finished with, and started breeding like Optimus Prime color T-Rexes that come out like pretty cool looking. I don't know if this is one of them or not. Yeah, they look like Optimus Prime. So, and then I had like magma color breeding that I was doing here. Green body and green tips. That one's pretty cool looking. I'll show you it. There's only 2 color regions that show. It's the body and the tips. Nothing else really shows up. Okay. It's just more of our Bigfoot. You can see they have armor. You have to take, for some reason, you have to take it off and put it back on to actually see the armor. But they do work. They I'll ball these all up because I'm going to take them and put them in a terminal so somebody can use them for the next 15 hours. I just got all these guys bred and made all the armor and everything, like I was going to get ready to use them. But not no mo. This is our boss package minus all these trikes that we did the final test with. We just did it with a normal day done. I think he has 50 food. But all these can be balled up. Some people are gonna try to get some bosses done before the cluster wipes. So I figured I'd just put all my stuff in a terminal and have them go at it. And while I'm here, I might as well start balling them up. Okay, so that was this map. And I had the magmas pretty high too. That's kind of frustrating about it. Because they started out, once I combined all the stats, it took me probably a week or 2 weeks just to get good magma eggs and then combine the stats off of them to get something decent. Because they only start at, you know, the max is 150 and you don't know where the stats are going to be. But I ended up going all the way up to 59 damage, which was 8 mutations. And they're just like the Gigas, where it takes 24 hours for them to raise. And I think I got to 40 or 50 something HP on them. Bye. I'll never see you again. I'll show you. This is our volcano. It's just a tech shield out here on the volcano. And I would warp here and then go down. Man, this is the most annoying thing about the volcano. When you warp, you have to. Come here, bro. Bro, please. There we go. You get stuck. You gotta mount on something. That's the volcano spot, the lava that I'd bring the magmas. You can get one male in the center and then 12 females around the outside to be able to breed. What the heck is that noise? And they have to be in lava to breed. So that's that one. And then over here is our parasaur home. Used to be raptors. This was before they opened up transfers and you couldn't get element, you know, off of the other maps. I made a parasaur house that just kept spitting out parasaurs like this over and over and over and over and over and over again. And then I would stack them up right here so they would raise up and use my euthanation gun. This thing that kills them, and they would die right here. And then I had our Bigfoots come in with a mining pick and harvest their bodies, and you know it gives you elemental dust, electronics, oil, and scrap metal. So I would just shoot, you know, with the transfer gun all into these dedicated storage boxes, and that's how we would get our element, besides, you know, farming the lava nodes. I was moving the stats of our Rexes over to my Optimus Prime build. So that's why these guys are out. They just got done raising up. Wait, I don't know what that was. Alright, bye Optimus Prime. I'll never see you again. And then, so this is a spot in the ocean biome. It's one of the underwater tech cave things, I guess you can say. There's only two entrances to it. It's on this side and that other side over there. But you would spawn, teleport, biome, ocean, north, west, and then go to the zone border, the west zone border, and then just go south, and you would come here. I was going to start walling all this stuff off, but nothing spawns in there and nothing gets in there, so it was kind of pointless. And I had one of the underground like caves I was doing my breeding in for my Tusos and Mosas, so we could do motor, and then it just got to be too small, so we put behemoth gates all around the top of this, and stone ceilings all the way across to make our Tuso breeders. And this is the same thing, we're just breeding, just stack up the Tusos and their breeding, or their stats, get a bunch of the females with the same stats, and then just start, you know, getting your mutations. And man, they get real strong. They're the same thing like a Giga. They take 24 hours to mature on our rates. And since they would take 24 hours to mature, and the breeding intervals, the time between you can breed and then they, you know, they get mating ready and then breed again, is only like maximum of 9 to 10 hours. I was breeding 2 at a time, so I would breed the health stat, and while the health stat mutated, you know, mutation was raising, I would breed the damage in between. And I think we got up to 80, is it 83, 87? Somewhere in the upper 80s. I don't know if this is the last one or not, I can't remember. And then health, I think we stopped, 70 health was our max. But I did motor, gamma, and beta with one Tuso that was 58 HP and 59 damage. So they get real strong. These are Moses. They're really bad. They're just, but there's nothing, there's no threat in the ocean like there is somewhere else. Like the ocean content is so easy compared to, I mean, when you're talking alpha missions, the alpha leech, the alpha moza, the alpha plessy, the alpha tuso, they're all so easy compared to the alpha sarco or the alpha ud and stuff. Because we did the alpha tuso, which was the hardest one out of all of the kill, with just like 9 or 10 tusos that were just 38 HP, 39 damage. There weren't even bred mutations or anything. These things are only level, I mean, they only got 30 HP and 30 damage. And they did alpha motor like it was nothing. And here's the flags for alpha motor and the poses. You got the starter pose and then the bite pose and then the tail whip pose. But man, this is a really good area. Nothing spawns in here when you have it all walled off. I used to have Tusos and stuff on aggressive, but nothing spawns in here. Here's the barrier wall. You just put your gates right up to it. Nothing, nothing can come through it. Then off through here, as you can see on the side here. I guess one more thing I could show. There's nothing out there, it's just a teleport spot. Cap this off with our extinction base. It was our main location where we had everything. My for sale terminal that nobody ever bought anything out of. Man, I had our good Tusos on us too. I lost my inventory. I'll just bring all of them. My buddy Mansour. He's been sleeping for a while, working and stuff, so I just been putting stuff in his inventory. Oh well. Alright, let's go to Extinction and get this over with. Oh yeah, I can't travel with certain items. Can't travel with that. Our extinction base is where we started off when we joined the cluster, and we were trying to smash through all the content, so all we did was just build like a big box of stone like you saw on Aberration. That's where we did our breeding and stuff. And then before Genesis hit, Um, we had like a 2 or 3 week period where we, you know, did all the bosses and did everything. We were just kind of breeding, waiting on Genesis to launch. So I did a bunch of building. We each have our own like little room here, sleeping pod and some color coordinated stuff. I gotta wait for everything to load in. The base is so big it takes so long to load stuff in. It's made out of all tech as well. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I've got an extra tech suit here. I don't have one here either. Okay, oh well. Oh wow, I just realized I lost my best Rexes that was on my inventory. Oops. There's a Rex saddle I was looking for in here. Yeah, right there. Okay. Over here's Mansour's little base, or his living area. His brother Imani, and then we had a couple other clan members. They quit though. This is Reaper, my son. He played with us as well. Come over here. This area was just basically for show. I mean, there's nothing up here, just tech beds and stuff. This is where we would breed all of our gigas. These are all just 0 gigas, clean mutations, and then these are our males. Went all the way up to 42, 43 mutations, somewhere right around there. I think it was like 210, 212 melee damage. They just absolutely crush everything. But that's it in a nutshell. I'm just gonna tech suit out real quick to put on. All of our materials. 16 million stone? Yeah, nobody needs that much stone. Just stacking up the mats from our gotchas. Our skiff here. You have to make him on a normal replicator. You can't do the S plus replicators, but you can put a shield and generator and turret and stuff on them. It's pretty cool. This is our gotcha tower. It's got crop plots for plant Y traps over here. Bunch just stacks and stacks all the way up to the roof of plant Ys. What you do is use your transfer tool to transfer all them plant Y traps to the gotcha gatherers. There was a couple more here, but for some reason they clipped through the ground and I could never get them put back in there right, so I just put them up. Got gotcha gatherers on this level. There's 6 of them. Usually you just transfer all of the traps, plant Y traps from the crop plots to the gotcha gatherers with the transfer tool. We had our crystal crackers item collection, our grinder. We got our poop producers, and then over here we've got farmers. automatically take the poop and fertilizer and put it into the traps, and then the gardeners that automatically take the traps out and put it in their inventory. They're just full. All of them's just full of them right now. And then gotchas make crystals, and these pick up the crystals and crack them. And we would just use a transfer tool gun to just shoot it into the grinder and grind it all up, and then put it into the dedicated storage over there. That's our base. One last little go at it. Cloner. You're my boy, Blue. Just pet Blue here. Yeah. We'll see you later, buddy. Alright. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I got something out of it. It's been fun.